Right, okie dokie. I believe we are live. I don't expect us to get anybody uh, into this live chat. I'm supposed to be working, but I just want to cover this very, very quickly, right? Because it's important, right, that we don't just do the bad news on Matchroom. Although you guys know I love doing bad news on Matchroom, but unfortunately today we have to do some good news. So it looks like, I mean, it's hard to say really. I'm just turning this down. It's hard to say really, but it's looking very much like there is something in this BT Sport and Dazn deal. Now, this is something that we've spoken about for about the last 5 or 6 months, not routinely, but this is something that we first mentioned 5 or 6 months ago on this channel. Okay. And we mentioned the possibility of BT Sport being bought out or partnering with Dazn in some way, shape, or form. Now, Dazn in the USA is absolutely dead in the water. Matchroom USA is pretty much dead in the water. Forget about it. Dazn are pulling out of America. That's pretty much done. Well, not completely pulling out, but the CEO has said they are, the US is not the priority. So all this Matchroom USA stuff, all this kind of stuff, you might as well stick a fork in that. They're done. They're not going to be taking anything over, in terms of the USA market. UK market is a completely different ball game, and it always was going to be a completely different ball game because Eddie Hearn's already got the reputation. He's got experience of the market, and he has a stable ready to go. Okay, as opposed to America, where basically he had no knowledge of the market and he was having to go in and basically do the whole thing from scratch. This is a completely different ball game. So that's why his chances of success were always going to be a lot better in the UK than they were ever going to be in the States. All right. Now let's move on. Dazn and BT Sport. Now, originally, let me see if I can drag this over to the screen. I didn't think there was much in this story. And the reason why is earlier this week, when what's his name? The CEO, Kevin Mayer, was asked about talks between BT Sport and Dazn. He said it's really quiet. As you can see here, he said BT Sport is a great business, but he went on to say, as you can see here, the talks have gone really quiet. So this was last week. As you can see, this is September the 17th, this is a few days ago. He said that talks have been really quiet, and maybe they were sort of hiding what was really going on. But it didn't seem like there was much going on. But all of a sudden, it's the Financial Times. And when the Financial Times reports something, then you have to take note. Now, the Financial Times story is behind a paywall. So I'm delivering you the Scousers' favorite here, the Sun newspaper. But according to the Financial Times, there could be a deal between Dazn and BT Sport, apparently in a matter of weeks. So stay tuned for that. Now, there are lots of ifs and buts about this, okay? Any sale of Premier League rights or any moving of Premier League rights would have to be approved by, I think, certainly the Premier League would have to approve it. And apparently Sky will have to have some say and approve that as well. But certainly the Premier League. The Premier League may not want, the rights to be shown on Dazn, all right? I don't think the Premier League do want the rights to be shown on Dazn. I think that's the reason why they didn't do a fresh round of bidding this year, if that makes sense. It was the first year or the first time, I think, in the history of the Premier League where there was no bidding. There was no bidding for the packages. The Premier League just said, we want, Sky, BT and Amazon to continue to show it. All right. And that's what happened. So Sky, BT and Amazon could continue to show the Premier League at the minute. They didn't want other broadcasters bidding on it. All right. So we'll have to wait and see what the Premier League thinks about this. And again, this is just stories. I mean, look, the story itself still says, look, it's not a done deal, blah, blah, blah. So we'll have to wait and see. But look, it looks like this thing has taken a lot more traction, in the last 2 to 3 days than it did, say, a week or two ago. It seems like there really could be something in this. I would say, at a guess, what will definitely happen is Dazn probably will end up taking BT Sports Serie A rights, possibly, and possibly their Champions League rights as well. But we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I think certainly the Champions League could end up on Dazn, which is good for them. The Premier League rights, we'll have to wait and see. That needs a Premier League approval. I think Sky may need to approve some of this stuff as well. So the Premier League is going to be a bit more difficult. But certainly the Champions League rights could end up on Dazn. All right. And listen, there's no question about it. That would be great for Dazn. If they can get Champions League rights, that would definitely turn them not around because, like I said, Premier League rights is really the sort of the crown jewel. But if they can get the Champions League rights to start, that's a great start. That's a great start for them. And if they can get Anthony Joshua as well, on top of that, even better. But This is the kind of thing they need, because right now in the UK, honestly, to me, as it stands right now with the current rights they've got, which is zero, they look dead in the water to me in the UK right now. And it's funny, I was sitting there the other day and I was thinking, bloody hell, you know, certain friends of the channel, right, have obviously gone to work for Dazn, haven't they? I'm not going to name names, but certain friends of the channel have obviously gone and got jobs with Dazn. And I was sitting there like a week or two ago thinking, fuck me, this Dazn thing might go tits up in the UK, because there's actually really, you know, if you look at the kind of fights they're putting on, Liam Smith and Anthony Fowler, Dillian White and Otto Wallin, these aren't fights that are going to, you know, bring in, you know, your massive sort of casual market, the sort of the drunken 2 pints in the lager, darts watching, football watching fan that Matchroom built his business on before. But if they can get Champions League rights, or if they can get Premier League rights, or both, or whatever, it's a completely different ball game, right? So look, you know what they say, innit? You know, there's a little bit too much talk about this now for it to be just rumors. This has been spoken about anyway on and off for the last 5 or 6 months. I thought nothing was going to happen because, as you can see here, the CEO said a couple of days ago, the talks are quiet, but the Financial Times is saying, no, talks are advanced, and, you know, you might even get some kind of deal in the next 3 weeks. I don't know what rights are going where. Somebody was asking me on Twitter what will happen to the WWE and this and that and all the rights BT Sport have got. I don't know the ins and outs in it. If you're the WWE, would you really want to be, you know, end up on Dazn? Does this mean UFC will end up on Dazn? It's bizarre. It's bizarre. We'll have to wait and see. I think some of the companies will have their say on whether they want their broadcast to be shown on Dazn or whether they don't. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't think it's going to be as simple and straightforward as Dazn picking up BT Sport going out of business and Dazn just picking everything up. I think it's going to be a little bit more nuanced than that. But the bottom line is, if you're a Matchroom Eddie Hearn fanboy, and we are in Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk week, it's a good bit of news to start your week there. Because like I said before, as it stands at the minute, Dazn was looking like a bit of a dead duck. But like I said, if they get these Champions League rights and or Premier League rights of BT Sport, it's a completely different ballgame in the UK. Then all of a sudden, they become a force. And then all of a sudden, maybe Eddie Hearn can get some of these boxers back. Because recently, he's been losing a few boxers to Sky. You know, right now, a few boxers out there have been making the choices. And quite a few of them on the Matchroom roster are opting to stay with Sky instead of go to Dazn for obvious reasons. Sky box office is still the #1 in the UK. And the Sky platform is still unrivaled because it has Premiership football coverage. So it has that crossover market that people want to make money off and people have access to. But like I said, if Dazn can pick up them BT Sport rights, completely different ballgame. So positive news, yeah, from Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. Breaks my heart to break. You know, I only love delivering bad news, but listen, you know how it goes. You got to take the rough with the smooth. What does this mean for Frank Warren? Could this be the end of Frank Warren? I would say, I guess no, because we've been talking about the end of Frank Warren for the last 20 years and it hasn't happened yet. But having said that, you never know. I mean, I don't think he could coexist on the same channel as Eddie Hearn on Dazn. And what would the reason be? There'd be no reason to do that. I think, if anything, Frank's fighters would end up going with Eddie or going to Sky. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But listen, very, very uncomfortable times, yeah? If you're in Queensbury Sports right now and you're seeing news of this sort of this takeover, like I said, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Nothing's done or set in stone. This is only rumor and speculation, but it comes from the Financial Times. And the Financial Times do not mess about. And they said they have direct access. They've been speaking to people who are directly involved, and they think that this thing is a go. So look, if the Financial Times say it, it's good enough for me, all right? In the past, when the Financial Times have broadcast bad news about Dazn, we've broadcasted it, i.e. Dazn's financial problems and Len Bernatvic looking to sell. We've broadcast those stories, so we can't pick and choose now. So, yeah, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about that. I have to do this show to get this out there because you can't only do bad stories on Matchroom and then when a good story comes up, just ignore it. You can't do that. We've got to, keep it somewhat, on the level. So that's why I've done this today. Now I've got to go back to work. Let me just say a very, very quick bit, yeah, for the handful of people that are currently on this show. On Friday night, James Lords, that's quite interesting. He said, Frank's been mentioned in Box Nation recently, said an announcement was due in a few weeks. Who knows? All I know is that Box Nation might as well put Box Nation in a coffin before it even starts. So I don't even want to hear anything about Box Nation. Very, very simple. If Dazn pick up the Champions League and or Premier League rights from BT Sport, then you've got 2 platforms in the UK that count: Sky and Dazn. End of story. That's just the way it is. That's the way life is. You know, everybody's got to take a loss sometimes. Do you know what I mean? I take losses every single day, from when I wake up in the morning to when I go to bed at night. I take L's. So just add that one to the fucking list. People asking me, Ultra, you're on the Frank Warren payroll. Will you be okay financially? Yes, most likely, because like I said, I'm doing this stream in front of $1,000 monitor, and most of the people who like to sort of troll the channel obviously sort of work part-time in the chip shop and get money from Universal Credit. So make of that what you will. Right, let's quickly talk about show going forward, because this is Anthony Joshua versus Usyk fight week. So that is the most important thing going forward. Friday night, 7 p.m. Riku is coming on the show. All right. Riku is coming on the show, and we're going to have the first ever episode of The Commission. This joke here, a couple of you guys, most of you guys won't know what that joke is, right? But there's a little in-joke, yeah, between a couple of people on the channel. But we've got the first ever episode of The Commission, all right? It's going to be me and Riku talking about Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk. We're going to be talking about the Matchroom. We're going to be talking about the Zone. We're going to be talking about all the little subplots, yeah, that are sort of intertwined. Excuse me. Will Anthony Joshua stay at Sky? Will he sign with the Zone? What will he do after this fight? Who will he fight next? We'll talk about Anthony Joshua's career, his resume, because we know people love talking about resume and title defenses. So for all the AJ fanboys out there, we're talking resume, title defenses, and Riku, like I said, has a completely different opinion to me. So it'll be a nice balance of views. Riku will be on here. If he's not on here on Friday night, it's because I'm dead, basically. If you don't hear from me Friday, 7 p.m. doing a live, Dean and Dillian have caught me, and I'm probably, you know, got a bunch of handcuffs behind my back, and I'm being buggered in the middle of a ditch somewhere, and you won't be hearing from me again. Otherwise, see me Friday, 7 p.m. for the first episode of The Commission. Saturday night is Fight Night Live on Saturday night. So if you want live, I wouldn't say live commentary, but if you want sort of live a review of the fight as it's going on, Saturday Night Live, I'm planning to buy the card on Sky box office for 25 quid because, you know, like I said before, I don't trust the internet when it comes to these big fights. Fuck that. So listen, one of the biggest fights of the year. I can't be doing with any dodgy links, or I can't be doing with any, you know, sort of cuts during the fight and all this and all that. So I'm buying it on Sky box office for 25 quid. So I need to do that in the next couple of days. So I might do that now in a minute. So join me Fight Night Live. All right. And probably that will be on from around 5 or 6 p.m. in the afternoon, all the way through till probably about 11 at night. That's probably what time the main event will finish, 11 at night. After that, I've got the post-fight show with Ingram, BWTM Sports, good friend of the channel. We're going to be doing the post-fight show. Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk post-fight show, plus some guests depending on who's around. So it'll be me and Ingram, mainly me and Ingram, but plus some guests depending on who's around. You can go and see that around about 11 o'clock at night. So we've got those 3 shows. And also, before I go, I've reached out to Spencer Fearon. Listen, let me tell you something, right? With Spencer Fearon, it's a weird one because I've messed the guy about, you know. I've told him, I've really messed him about, and it's my fault. I've completely fucked the whole thing up, okay? So we'll leave it at that with Spencer Fearon. But long story short, as it stands at the minute, some of the numbers for some of the live shows we've been doing about boxing during prime time are a lot better than what I was anticipating. So I have reached out to Spencer Fearon and asked him if he wants to come on Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night. He's welcome to come on. I would love him to come on Thursday night, 7 p.m. So, you know, all you guys who keep asking me, where's Spencer Fearon, this, that. I know you guys keep asking, when's he coming back on the show? Ping him on Twitter. I've asked him to come on Thursday night to talk about Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk, technical breakdown. I personally hope he comes on because I actually think we might do some numbers actually on that. I think we might get close to that 100 concurrent lives actually on that show. The numbers have been a little bit better in the last week or so. So that's the reason I've asked Spencer to come on. But it depends on him, what his schedule is. You know, he's a big boy. he's really does, he'd be doing us a favor because he does the bigger channels like IFL TV. But having said that, like I said before, I think that if he comes on and does the show, I think he'll do it look $1 million, because I think we'll be able to ask him technical questions about boxing and about his boxing career and about how he used to go about fighting southpaws and about what he used to do in the gym. And then from that, we'll go and talk about what Anthony Joshua's going to do in the gym, Anthony Joshua's coaching and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to do a technical preview. It can only be done with somebody who understands and knows about boxing and someone who's actually been between the ropes. So I don't think it will happen because I think the man's a bit too busy, but I've reached out to Spencer Fearon. If you want to hit him up on Twitter and harass him and tell him how much you want him to come on the show this Thursday, that would be great. We'll only talk about boxing, not talking about race, BLM, Marcus Rashford, or any of the other crap that we covered before. I'm not even going to talk about Dillian White's speed sample like we did before. None of that, but we'll see what happens on that. Let's have a look here. Let's go through some of these comments. Is there any comments worth reading? No, not really. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look. Yeah, so that's it, really. The plan is to do shows, right? The plan actually is to do shows from Wednesday all the way through every day. But I need to get some more people on. Itching to get Spencer Fearon on Thursday. If not, there might be someone else who we can get on as well, who knows a thing or two about boxing, or we might be able to get in. So the plan is shows Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All right. Riku on Friday night. Don't miss that. Ingram and me doing the post fight on Saturday. Don't miss that. If you want Spencer Fearon on Thursday night, you're gonna have to ping Spencer Fearon and ask him. All right, I've asked him twice today. We'll see what happens. Like I said before, if you want Spencer Fearon to come on, ping him and ask him. Tell him, we want him to come on and just talk boxing. What else are we saying? Dave Lane is saying the one thing that worried me about Joshua is that I seen in an interview with Sky that he said he thought about losing or something against Usyk in sparring, and that's a bit weird already. Doubting all fighters doubt themselves. Everybody doubts themselves before a fight. That's nothing new. All fighters think they're going to lose. Some of the greatest MMA fighters of all time, were literally pissing themselves. But before GSP, Georges St. Pierre, is notorious for that. One of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time, and literally was literally scared stiff before his fights, and managed to go out there and perform. So I don't know. I don't really read too much into that. I'm not going to give my prediction away. All right. I'm not going to give anything away about. I'm not going to give anything away about what I think about the fight, because what I want is for other people to come on and give their predictions. All right. And hopefully we can do a live call-in as well before the fight. If you guys want to call in and give your predictions, we can do that. And like I said before, it depends how many are you at the weigh-in. Excuse me. It depends how many of you will be there when I do a live after the weigh-in. When I do a live after the weigh-in, if there are enough of you about, we can call in and give your predictions, and we can do a call-in show on that. All right, we can do a call-in show on that. So yeah. Anyway, there's a lot going on in my head right now because I'm trying to organize a lot. I'm trying to get a lot of people to come on this show. You don't understand. I've got a lot of plans in my head, but I'm also juggling it with a full-time job. Yeah. And I'm also juggling it with being on the Frank Warren payroll as well. All right. But like I said, Spencer Fearon would be the priority because he's been on here before and everybody wants to see him come on here again. Mark Wharton says, I gave a prediction for Usyk to win and was told I'm not a boxing fan because all roads lead to Fury versus Joshua. Yes, of course, it will be filled with non-stop idiots out on the internet. Like I said before, that's why I'm keen to get boxing people right on this channel. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm keen to get boxing people. And I think we've got a good mix. We've got Ingram coming on Saturday night, Riku on Friday. And like I said before, Spencer Fearon wants to come on. That's fine. Those are the names I've mentioned. A few people are mentioning other names in the chat. I'm not interested. Plain and simple. I'll tell you right now. Spencer Fearon, Kent. If Kent's interested from Porky's Corner, he can get a link. I'm happy to have Kent on the show. Riku is going to be one of my main guys going forward. So that's it. Riku's going to be coming on the show going forward. I think it's going to be a one-off thing. Riku's going to be coming on the show going forward. He was one of my top of the list of guys that I wanted on the show. Riku, Ingram's going to be one of my top of my line guys going through. So, like I said before, there are 2 spots available. All right. If Kent from Porky's Corner wants to come on, absolutely, please come on. He can come on a Wednesday. I'll be happy to talk to Kent anytime. If he wants to come on a Wednesday night, we can do that on Wednesday night, which is tomorrow night. We can do that. But Thursday night, I'm hoping we can get Spencer Fearon on. Let's go through some more of these comments. James Lord, how big do you think the ring will be, Ultra? I don't know, but that is something that I thought about the other day, and I do think that will play quite a big factor in the fight. Quite a big factor in the fight. Like I said before, I'm not going to give away what I think about the fight or who's going to win the fight yet, because there's going to be other shows for that. So I'm not going to give away anything on that as it stands, but I do think that will play a factor. Do you know what? Let me say this: it will play a factor, but also it won't play a factor. I'll explain it closer to the time, like I said before. Dylan says Kent Kent is a top man. He'd be great to listen to. Please, by all means, send Kent. Yeah, if Kent's interested, send Kent an SOS. Let him know. Send him my Twitter handle. Let him know. And like I said, if Kent's available tomorrow night, I'll be happy to get Kent on the show tomorrow night. I've got time for him. He sounds like he's very, very entertaining to listen to. So I'm happy to get Kent on tomorrow night. Like I said, looking for people to come on Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night's taken and Saturday night's taken. So Wednesday night, Thursday night. Simple and plain, guys. I've got a dash here because I've got some. Literally, I haven't done much work today, so I've got some APIs to write. But that's how it is. We've got spots Wednesday night, Thursday night. Okay. Spencer Fearon, I hope will take the Thursday night spot, but he probably won't. I'm hoping Kent, if he wants to, will take the Wednesday night. Get at him, ask if he wants to come on. If he doesn't, that's down to him. No problems whatsoever. I'm not going to answer any technical questions on the Anthony Joshua fight. And to finish off, for those of you who just missed it, you haven't missed much. Listen, if Dazn UK, because like I said, Dazn USA, Matchroom USA, forget them, they're finished. Stick a fork in them, right? But like I said before, if Dazn UK get the rights of BT Sport, they become the number two force in the UK sports market. Sky would still say Sky would be number 1 because Sky obviously have the majority of the Premier League rights, and that's the way it's going to stay. Like BT have got 50 games, Sky have got the rest, right? But then again, DAZN also get, if DAZN were to also get exclusivity to the Champions League, it is what it is as well. Do you know what I mean? So DAZN would certainly be at least number 2 in the boxing market. And from that point of view, as far as I'm concerned, for fighters, really, unless something else changes, there'd only really be 2 choices for a boxer in the UK. You'd either go to Eddie Hearn and DAZN, or you go to Sky and with Wasman Boxing. I don't really know where Frank Warren could go after that. We will have to wait and see. Guys, listen, if you're a fan of the show, hit the like button. Get people to subscribe. There's a few people who are still missing the show. Do you know what I mean? There are a few people who are looking for the show and can't find it. If you see them, give them the link. But I'm telling you now, we're gonna go nuclear. Trust me on this. Wednesday onwards, yeah, we're gonna go nuclear. Like I said before, Wednesday night, Thursday night. If you know anybody, tell them. Email me or hit me up on Twitter, because we're dead serious about this, and we're dead serious about delivering genuine coverage, not the crap that you hear on other channels from people who've never stepped in between the ropes. All right, peace out.